Greetings, scholars. This is Dr. Bethany Fleck, and I'm going to walk you through the Psychology of Human Development, Psych 2210 syllabus. So you'll want to print out your syllabus or have it open on your computer while you listen to this. That way you can take some notes and jot down any questions that you might have that you'll have to email over to me. All right, I'm going to try to make this brief, but I want to be as detailed as I can to help you succeed in the course. So at the top of your syllabus, you're going to see the semester. You're going to see if it's a summer, if it's a spring, fall course. You'll also know if it's 8 weeks or 16 weeks, online or face-to-face. My office hours at the top right. My office is Plaza Building 220 AC. My phone number is there, and my email address is there. All right, I have a short letter for you at the top of the syllabus. You can read that at your own time. And then as we scroll down, we see the course description. This course presents the development of behavior from conception through maturity and death, and is intended to help the student understand the developmental characteristics of different age groups and the determinants of their individual and collective behaviors. All right, course communication. For me, when you want to get in touch with me, use my email address. You can email questions, comments, concerns. I will respond as quick as I can, but please allow 24 to 36 hours. This is often extended or used on the weekends or holidays. When you email me, please make sure you identify who you are by your name, the course, and the assignment that you're asking questions about so that I can answer you as quickly and easily as possible. So if you're lacking some of those details, we have to go back and forth a couple of times, which can in turn have you lose some valuable time. All right, course communication for you. Your MSU Denver email address is the only one that I'm allowed to use, so it's the only one I will use. Make sure your email address is up and running with no problems. And please know I send lots of course emails, reminders, information, and it'll all go to that MSU Denver account. All right, required textbook and technology. So your textbook is Boyd and B, Lifespan Development. It's the 7th edition. It is written, or published rather, by Pearson, and you have the ISBN number there. You are free to buy a hard copy of the book. You could buy, I think it's like loose leaf pages that the bookstore has, but those two options are rather expensive. So what I recommend that you do is purchase the ebook. The reason why I recommend this is because regardless of buying a hard copy or the ebook, you also will need to purchase Pearson's MyLab system. The cool thing about MyLab is that it comes with the ebook. So this is where you can save some money. I'll show you the document that will help you register for MyLab, and I'll also show you where MyLab links are on your Blackboard course. All right, Blackboard is the other piece of technology that we'll use in the course. It will be updated often. It's the main way that content is exchanged. It's how we communicate. It's how you get all of your work done. So if you aren't familiar with Blackboard, or maybe it's been a little while since you've used it for an online course, I would suggest that you take the free MSU Denver training, and so I have that linked here for you. We're going to go back and forth to our Blackboard course as I walk through the syllabus. That way you can see where everything is. And actually, I'm going to turn on the student preview so that the screen that you see will be the exact same screen that appears here. All right. Student behavioral learning objectives. These are the things that I expect you'll accomplish by the end of the course, and I'm going to allow you to read over those on your own. I also have here on your syllabus student expectations and instructor expectations. So these are the things that I expect from you: to be active, to participate, to listen and respect others, to complete your assignments and be punctual. and to be prepared by reading and working on all of the assessments. You also have things that you can expect of me. So I will be active and enthusiastic to facilitate your learning. I will listen to and respect your views. I will be available via email and during my office hours, and I will respond effectively to your concerns and questions. I will grade objectively, consistently, and timely, and I will accommodate any student who needs accommodations based on Access Center documentation. All right, let's dig in a little bit deeper now to the course responsibilities. So now that all that business is over, how are you going to actually learn the material in this course? So in other words, what assignments are part of the class and how do you complete them? Every week you have 5 things that you'll be working on. Since we don't meet in class, you have a lot of weekly interactive work to help you think deeper about the course material. We'll cover chapters from your textbook, the various stages of human development, and you'll have assignments associated with all of those. So each week, first, you're going to read 2 to 4 textbook chapters. It's a lot of reading. It's 2 to 4 for those 8-week short summer courses. If it's a 16-week regular school year semester course, then it's less per week. So it all depends on when you're taking this. The second thing you have to do each week is to read the lecture notes and study guides, and those will help you think deeper about the text reading. Those are tools to help you learn the material. The third thing is to take a chapter quiz, and the chapter quiz exists on Blackboard. The fourth thing you'll do each week is to complete homework assignments on the MyLab system. Now you'll access MyLab through Blackboard, however, it's its own learning platform. And then the fifth thing you'll do is you'll engage in class discussion boards on the Blackboard learning management system. All right, so that's every week. One time in the semester, you have a couple of additional things that will come in. So these things occur just one time. They're bigger. They cover multiple chapters from your textbook, and they require you to synthesize and evaluate information as a whole rather than chapter by chapter in isolation. So one time in the semester, you're going to write a community agency civic engagement proposal and paper. So this is a research paper, essentially. We'll look at some of the details of it a little later on. The other thing that you will do is to complete a comprehensive final exam. So all of those are the course aspects, the assignments, the responsibilities that you have. As we move through the syllabus now, each of those things that I just overviewed for you are described in more detail. All right, so this starts off with textbook readings, lecture notes, and study guides. So I'm going to show you where that ebook is on the MyLab system so you can see your textbook readings. You could also do that in a hard copy of a book. I'll show you an example of some lecture notes, and I'll show you some study guides. So these vary between PowerPoint slides and Word documents. You'll want to have the lecture notes out while you're reading to help guide your reading. And then you want the study guides to help highlight the information as you study, because that's the most important content that you'll be assessed on. So you'll want to make sure that you're looking at and using those tools before taking your quizzes and your final exam. All right, let's go over to Blackboard and we'll take a look at some of the content that I just described. First, I'll show you MyLab and where the ebook is. So this is the home page, and this is the same perspective that you will have when you enter the course. Over here on the left side are all the tabs. Here's the MyLab tab. There's other links to MyLab throughout Blackboard as well, so it's not the only place. Okay, we'll click on the MyLab course home. And when I hit this, what it does is it's going to bring me to the course itself. The first time you open it, it's going to bring you to a place where you can register and you can purchase your access to the ebook and to the MyPsychLab portal. Okay, you'll know it's the right course. You have Psych 2210 up here with Dr. Fleck. Here's our text. So I do want to show you, the first thing is just how to read the chapters if you go with the ebook version. You click Read eText, and then it's going to open it up here. Might take a moment to load. It's an interactive textbook, so there's links on it to other resources that will help you learn, study, that can lead you to things that are pretty interesting. All right, so on the left-hand side, you have the chapters, and then this main page here is your actual textbook. So let's say I wanted to go into the part on infancy, chapter 4. Here it is. You page over by using these two arrows in the top left. So I can click the next page. And then it's a normal textbook, just like you would have a hard copy. Okay, see, these are the kind of cool links that exist. So it says watch the video on the newborn reflexes. You could click this link and then that could take you to a video. So it's interactive when you have the ebook, which is another thing that I think is pretty cool. The other interesting piece about having an ebook rather than a hard copy is that you can read your textbook anywhere that you have internet access. So that can be helpful if you are commuting, on a train, if you're traveling over the summer, any other times that you want to get some work done. Okay, so that takes care of the textbook. I also wanted to show you the study guides and the notes. So let's go into chapter 2 here. This is in the content tab of Blackboard. We went into chapter 2, and this is all the material for chapter 2. So once you get to chapter 2 in your course schedule, you would come here to complete all of your work. The lecture notes are here, so if I click on this, it'll download them for me. And your computer will download things in different ways, but you'll want to open up that downloaded file. I can do that up here in the top right. And what it'll bring up is a PowerPoint slide with notes from the chapter 2 information. So this will guide you as you read. All right, the other thing that we have is the study guides. So I'm going to download that. Same thing, I can come up here. This is a Word document, and it outlines the most important key pieces of information from the chapter that you'll want to know for the assessment. All right, we'll go over some of these other links here in just a minute. So number 3 is the weekly quizzes. The quizzes are short. They range from 10 to 20 multiple choice questions. And there's some important information that you need to know regarding the quizzes. They're done on Blackboard. So there are quiz-like assignments that you'll do on MyLab, but those are just homework things. These are the actual weekly quizzes that you take on Blackboard. So there are 15 total quizzes in the course, but only 13 of them count. So 2 of your grades are dropped. This means if you miss a quiz for some reason, a computer problem, personal issues, anything, you can use your dropped quiz for that. It also means that if you complete every single quiz and you get perfect scores on them, 2 of those perfect scores are taken away because 2 of the grades are dropped. It's always the lowest grades that are dropped. And this just happens automatically at the end of the semester. All right, you can complete quizzes and other coursework early, but you can't complete them after their due date, so you'll have to follow the course calendar. They're due by midnight on the date that they're assigned. You'll want to use the study guides. We've already talked about that. The majority of the questions will be on topics that are in the lecture notes and in your texts, and all of it will be on those study guides. Be sure to study the material before you take the quiz. So there's a time limit of 20 minutes, and this doesn't allow you to look up every single answer. So you have to study for the quiz as if you were taking this closed book. It's okay to use your textbook, but you don't have enough time to look everything up. Right? You can only take the quiz one time. The first quiz that you take is actually on your syllabus. So it's not on chapter readings, it's on what we're covering now. Each quiz is worth 21 points, and so in total, 13 of those equals 273 course points. So if we head over to Blackboard, what you will see if you go into that Content tab again, this is where all of the chapters are. The first quiz you take is a syllabus quiz. It's in this Day 1 folder. And so it's right here. You would click this link, and it has information to remind you about the quiz there. If you want to see, just as an example, Chapter 1, if we head in there, you have the Chapter 1 quiz located here in the table of contents, and you would click on that. All right, MyLab homework. The MyLab website has really interesting, neat activities. So much that I don't assign you absolutely everything that's in there, but I hope that you use it and that you look at it to help you learn the information. Now I will give you a couple of homework assignments for each chapter. You should do these homework assignments before you take the quiz on Blackboard because they should help prepare you for the quiz and to help you understand the material in a more deeper way. Okay, so if something happens on the MyLab system, anything wonky or weird, just make sure you email me so I can help troubleshoot with you. I'll drop 5 grades of your homework assignments. So 25 of the 30 homework assignments count. This is the same spiel that I just gave for the quizzes. MyLab is accessed through Blackboard. We already looked at that together. There is a MyLab student registration handout that will help walk you through that registration process. I'll pull that up now and show you before we continue on. So it's on Blackboard. I'll email it out to you as well, but it just walks step by step how you will register for the MyLab system. So signing on to Blackboard, clicking these things, so on and so forth. And then what it says down here is get your computer ready. So this is important because in order for the MyLab system to work, you have to have certain things and cookies and that kind of stuff disabled and on. Your browsers have to be up to date. And so system requirements will help you do that. Okay, let's head back over here into the syllabus to continue talking about those homework assignments. So you should always go straight to the assignment calendar on MyLab, and the assignment calendar will give you the link on the day that things are due for the particular assignments. Okay, I'll show you that in just a moment. I do want to tell you that above and beyond the graded homework assignments that you have from MyLab, it is a resource for you. So you can quiz yourself, you can use flashcards, you can do any of the things that are on there that aren't assigned to you. You can do the study plans, those are a great resource. I'll assign one study plan to you and one chapter quiz from MyLab as homework assignments just so you can see what they look like. But the rest of those are not assigned. What is assigned are homework assignments that have little videos and then quizzes at the end of those videos. All right, each homework assignment that you do is worth 5 total points. 25 of them equals 125 course points. So if we go back over into Blackboard, and I already pulled up MyLab, but let's say you don't use the link over here. There's MyLab links right here in each of the chapters, so you can always go straight there. Here is the MyLab course. So what you want to do is go to the course calendar. So when you click on that course calendar, it's going to bring up the calendar and it's going to have dates on there that you can click on to see what is assigned to you. So if I go to a month where I've already assigned some things, these little clocks here, those mean things are due. Okay, it says that the item is due. If it's past due, it's a red clock. Check marks are complete. So if I just go into one of these as an example and I click on it, it shows me the things that are due that day. So the browser tune-up, getting started guide, and then a quiz. If I go into another date as an example, you'll see a couple of video assignments with quizzes. That's what most of the homeworks are. So if I click it just to show you, it should pull it up here for me, and to view the video, you click start, you watch the video, and then you answer some of the quiz questions. All right, back into our syllabus, we can move on through the next course requirement, which are the weekly discussion boards. So if you're taking this course online, which most of you are who are listening to this, it's hard when you're in an online course to get to know each other. And that's really my biggest complaint. I don't get to know my students that well. You guys don't get to know each other that well. So to improve this, we do discussion boards. We have multiple conversations with another, and I give you course points for this. Sometimes I respond, and sometimes I don't. I'm always reading, and I'm always grading. Really, I hold off on the responses as much as possible so that you guys can talk with one another, more so than just with me. So there are two separate discussion board forums. The first one are the chapter-based discussion boards. So the links to these are in the chapter folders. I'll show you it on Blackboard. You could also find it directly from the discussion board tab if you want. What you do is you answer the question that I pose each week. To earn full points, you have to not only answer the question, which is 5 points, but you also have to respond to one other student's answer, and that's another 5 points. So your responses need to be thought out, provoke discussion, ask questions, be in depth, so on and so forth. And I'll give you some feedback if you're not doing enough in the discussion boards. There are 15 class-wide discussion board threads. I'll drop 2 of those posts. So only 13 of the 15 count, just like we've talked about before. All right, so that comes to 130 total course points. The other discussion board forum are NPR stories. So I'm a little bit obsessed with NPR. I find it to be informative and entertaining, and I always hear stories that relate to course content. So I like to post those stories. I have a whole set of them already set up. And I ask you a question, and it's the same deal. You answer the question, and then you respond to one other student's answer. The NPR story discussion board is neat because it's relevant information that's out there in the real world that you can connect to the material we're learning in the course. All right, there are 13 that will count towards your grade, so 2 of them are dropped. And this comes to 130 total course points. All right, let me show you in Blackboard where these discussion board posts are. So back in the content tab, let's just scroll down so we see a different chapter as an example. We can go to chapter 9 and 10, development in middle childhood. We have that same list over here. Here we have the NPR discussion board. If I click on that, then I can click to launch to open up the NPR discussion board for this course. I'll have to find the one here that I want to comment on, the one that's assigned rather. All the due dates are listed there, so you can see them, and that's updated for whatever semester you're taking it in. So you go in and you find it, you click on it, and you create your thread. Okay, I want to show you one of the class-wide discussion boards as well. So we go back in here, and then we go to the MyLab. Nope, sorry, we go to the ADHD, the good and the bad and the ugly. So this is the chapter-based discussion board. Here is what I'm looking for, but you can just click to launch just like we did before, and you can hit create thread and start typing away at the answer in this box and then hit submit. All right, if you're ever unsure of how to find the discussion boards through those links in the content tab, you can always come to the discussion board tab itself. You'll see the NPR discussion board here. It has all those threads. We've already looked at that. And it also has, just in a row, one after another, the chapter class discussion board. So you can find the one that's assigned to you for that week. All right, we're doing pretty good. I hope you're still with me. Not too much more to cover. So the next aspect of the course is the community agency civic engagement proposal and paper. So this is an applied research paper. What I want you to do for this paper is to research a community agency that's nonprofit, and what they need to be doing in their nonprofit work is to better the life of people in some way. You can choose any community agency that interests you. Okay, so anything that you want. But it has to be local in Colorado. What you have to do is research that agency via the internet and or by going physically to their location or calling them and talking with somebody. After you research them, you write a 5-page paper that's due towards the end of the semester. And what you need to do is connect the course content, the things you're learning in class on human development, with the work that the community agency does. All right. Before you turn in that full paper, you're going to turn in a proposal. The proposal is worth 27 points. It's a way for you to check in with me to make sure you're on the right track. So you're going to have to tell me who your community agency is and what you're thinking about relating it to in the course. APA style has to be used to the plan. There is detailed directions in the Community Agency and Civic Engagement tab on Blackboard, and we're going to look at that in a second. That paper is worth 150 points. It's got a due date on the course calendar and is submitted on Blackboard in that Community Agency Civic Engagement tab. So let's look at that now. If we come down here, we'll find at the bottom Community Agency Civic Engagement. Here it is. Here are the assignment directions. So I can click on those, go to my downloads and open it up. I'm not going to walk through all of these detailed information pieces right now, but of course you will want to, and you'll want to email me if there are any questions. You got the plan requirements, the plan outline. You have the grading rubric that I'll use, so all of the important information here that you need. Also in this tab on Blackboard, you have the proposal. So you'll complete this proposal by the due date. And then you have the place where you actually submit your paper. The grading rubric is located here. The APA style website from Purdue, which has lots of handy tips on how to write an APA style, is there. And there's even an additional APA citation guide to help you. All right, you have the comprehensive final exam, the last course aspect for us to talk about. It's one cumulative final, so that means it covers the whole semester. You'll be tested on information that was found in the chapter study guides, and it's just multiple choice questions. It's found in the content tab. It's worth 165 points. You have 2 hours to complete it. You're only allowed one attempt, so you want to be sure that you are prepared before you take it. So if we go to Blackboard and content, we go all the way down to the bottom, and here's the final exam. Here's the final exam study guide, both of those super important parts of the course. Here is the calculation system for your final grade. So the course is out of 1,000 total points. You can earn 1,000 points in the class through quizzes, through homework assignments, the discussion boards, the paper, and the final exam. Based on how many points you earn, you are assigned one of these course grades. So if you're in the 900s, you're in the A range. 800s, B range. 700s, C range. Grading policies here. If something's happening in your life, email me. Let's talk. There is a 5-point deduction when things are late, only when approved by me prior to the deadline. And that's really only applicable for the paper and the proposal, because the other things, you have those free drops, right? The quiz drops, you have the discussion boards drop, the homework drops. So those are, most of the time I'll just say to you, oh, it's fine, you missed this one, it's one of your drops. Okay, but always email me and talk with me ahead of time when things are going on. Okay, other important course information. I'm going to allow you guys to read through this on your own, but it is important. So there's a human relations statement, ADA compliance. If you are a student with a special need, please go see the Access Center, get some documentation if you don't already have it. Provide me with that, and I can do lots of things within Access Center documentation guidelines to help you succeed in the course. Academic honesty statement. There's also a syllabus addendum that will be posted on Blackboard. It's from Letters, Arts, and Sciences. It's not from me. So it just has department policies and procedures, and it has LAS department policies and procedures. Okay, this part of your course syllabus is really important. That's your schedule. So all the items are due by midnight. The schedule is going to change based on whatever semester you're in. So if these dates don't look the same as the ones printed on your syllabus, that's fine. So we have the homework, the class, or chapter rather, discussion boards, and we have the NPR discussion board. Okay, here are the due dates column, the readings that are due, the assignments that are due, and the points. So on the first day of class, you've got some things due. You need to read your syllabus. You need to take the syllabus quiz on Blackboard, do the introduction discussion board, the welcome to NPR discussion board, and take the MyLab readiness quiz. After that, you see the due date, the chapter, and the things that are due. Okay. Whether things are due once a week or twice a week depends on whether you're in a 8-week or a 16-week course. So just make sure you're following this course calendar. You'll see also when the civic engagement proposal is due. You'll see when the paper is due. And then at the end of class, you'll see the final exam. All right, that takes us through everything. I'm going to hop back onto Blackboard here just to see if I'm missing anything. On the home page, this is helpful. If it's the first time you're logging in, click Start Here. You've probably already done that if you're watching this video because it's linked right here. There is some information about the course, the syllabus, introduction thread, the addendum, how to register for MyLab, tech help, browser configuration, all kinds of important stuff. Announcements, if I have any announcements, they'll show up here. You have a way to email me externally, and then you have a place to see your grades. So that's everything. If you have questions, which I'm sure you do, I need you to email me. Let me know what course, who you are, and what your question is, and I am more than happy to help. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you through this course, and I want you to be successful. So please, please, please ask as much as you need to be successful. All right, scholars, I look forward to working with you throughout this semester.